Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in. So recently I was going through a lot of my wish lists and back order lists on Acoustic Sounds and Music Direct, Elusive Disc, and I was kind of looking for some other things to pick up besides the current crop of new releases. If you have been following my videos, you'll know that I took a step back a little bit from the 3 jazz series that are going on right now: Tone Poet, Blue Note, Classic, and Acoustic Sounds. I'm not getting everyone. They're kind of like, there was a little period where there wasn't much coming out at the beginning of the year. So it kind of prompted me to take a look and see what kind of things I had on my wish list that I never picked up. And one of the titles that I have been wanting to get is the 45 of Time Out by the Dave Brubeck Quartet. So I did, and I have the classic records, 33 and 45 on hand to compare. But before I get to that, if you're new, please consider subscribing. If you would hit subscribe and notification, you'll be sure to get notified whenever a new video comes up. So my first exposure to this record was when I was a child. My father had it in his collection, and I think it was the mono release. And from what I've gathered, although I don't have one on hand, the mono, for original releases, the mono is really superior to the stereo. That may be a matter of opinion, but the reissues are all stereo. And the first one that I picked up was back in the Classic Records days, this one. This is the Classic Records 33 that was done by Bernie Grundman. At the time it was considered, what's this? Oh, I still have this in there. Win a free Columbia test pressing or t-shirt. Yeah, I should have submitted that. This is kind of a cool thing that they did, because they asked you the types of music you like and the music you'd like to see released on an audiophile format. And I think that's great that they ask you what titles you would like. I wish some of the labels today would do that, have kind of a poll. But anyway, they did a nice job with this. Reproduced the original label. The sound was really good. The 45, which I believe is a tube cut, also by Bernie Grundman, was even better. If you don't know already, Classic Records 45s were released on 4 discs, so 4 single-sided discs. And there was some theory about that being sonically superior, but I thought it was a massive waste of resources. And today that would be not a good idea because of the pressing plant backups and so forth. I liked the idea of a 2x45 that would be in a gatefold, rather than, 4 separate discs like this. They came usually with the cover, the original jacket, and then 3 of these with a sticker on them. But I was looking at the dead wax on this, and it seems that they use the same, that Analogue Productions use the same plates as Classic Records, which it's a great idea, because they should, this was a fresher tape at the time, and why redo it when this was so well received? So I listened to the 33 a couple nights ago, and it did sound good. The 45 I listened to 2 nights ago as well, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but the first disc, and was immediately struck by how much better the 45 was than the 33. Much more spacious, air around the instruments. Definition and detail was much better. The whole thing had a more organic kind of presentation and a drive that seemed more natural than the 33. I've always liked this, and I wanted to see if this edition would offer anything more than the classic 45. So first of all, let me show you a couple things about this. There's a slight difference in the label. I don't know if you can just notice how Columbia, the font on the Columbia label is there. The new one, I noticed right away, has a different font for Columbia. It's kind of subtle. I can't hold up both, but that's one thing I noticed. I looked carefully at the Dead Wax today, and they're basically identical, except it has Bernie Grunman's complete signature in both, same lettering, same everything. There is extra light inscriptions on the new one that designated as an AP pressing. So there's two 45s in a gatefold. This had come with a 2021 flyer, which is kind of nice. It has the Acoustic Sounds Jazz Series, Verve Jazz Series, and Ultra Tape, Super Audio CD, the 45 Deluxe sets, and oh wow. Huh, this never happened. Jethro Tull stand up on two 45 RPM LPs. I would like that. I would like that very much. I hope it happens. So, does the... Oh, let me show you this too. Let me put this back because I don't want anything to happen to these beautiful discs. Look at this cover. Now, this was the Classic Records cover. It's a little dull as far as sheen or anything like that. The colors are okay, but look at this. The colors pop on this. The image quality is excellent, and of course it's a glossy Stoughton gatefold, and it's just fantastic. With the wide spine, beautiful, and the center photos are really a nice plus, very much like a Music Matters release. They really stepped up their game for this one, and absolutely worth the $60 to me. The 45 from Classic is no slouch. It's basically the same sonic signature as this. Where this one gains, in my opinion, is better vinyl. So it's a much quieter, lower noise floor. You hear more detail. So the vinyl compound, even though it's nothing special, clarity or clear vinyl or anything like that, it's very, very quiet compared to what Classic was using from RTI at that time. This is pressed at QRP, and they're doing a knockout job on this. I looked carefully at the reviews on this as I was trying to decide on some things to pick up that were not new releases. I like to look at the feature that Acoustic Sounds has on their website where people can leave reviews. And it's a very valuable feature. And I always participate in it as well. And I think you should too. Leave your opinions on things, because I love to search through there and see if something has incredible reviews. And this one had like the most reviews of anything, maybe besides the Doors' LA Woman, which I also ordered and will be coming up soon. Yeah, just wonderful, wonderful reviews. They are not selective about their reviews. They'll publish a bad review if someone has a problem with the pressing or whatever. This one didn't have any problems. Everyone was raving about it. People that had the classic 45 even said that they preferred this overall, and I have to agree with them. When I put it on, I just felt more involved and deeper into the illusion of being in that studio. It was like you were right there, and the tonality of the instruments, although similar, pretty much the same as the classic 45, as it should be if they're the same plates. For some reason, everything came off a little bit better, just enough to make it like, oh wow, this is an improvement, an absolute improvement. And there's specific instances throughout, but like the tone of the instruments, especially Paul Desmond sounds fantastic. The drum sound all throughout the record is wonderful. The cymbals just shimmer with realistic tone. The drum solo is a lot of fun. It's like that's in take 5, and it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful sonic treat, and I found that this hit all the sweet spots. It's a beautiful presentation. It's more compact than the other 45 set. It's on better vinyl, and it sounds killer. It's just wonderful. And probably one of the best sounding records in my collection at this point. I was super, super impressed with it, and I think you would be too. If you don't have the 45 already, definitely go for the 45. It's as long, even with this album, the way it's sequenced, I didn't mind getting up to change sides. Some albums, that's an issue with me, but this works well in the 45 format, and the added gain you get from the 45 format is well worth it in this case. So yeah, if you have the classic 45 already, and you're pretty much set, but for those that want that little bit of extra something, this one really is amazing. It really is. And Chad Kassem has every reason to be proud of this reissue. It's superb. Really, really good. I picked up a couple of other things that I'll be reviewing. Some rock titles, like I mentioned, the Doors, LA Woman, which also got rave reviews. I also picked up Ted Nugent, solo debut, something that I loved in my past, and there's a review coming up. Should be out actually by the time you see this. Also, I picked up from that list. So it's kind of fun going back through those lists and seeing if there's anything available that you missed the first time around, and looking at how people reacted to it. And that's a really good way to kind of search out the best. And this is one of the best for sure. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. This is Scott for The Pressing Matters. Have a great day.